Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting news from Detroit Lions country every single day. Today, we've got a bombshell rumor that could reshape Detroit's defense in 2025. Word on the street is that the Lions are on the verge of re-signing none other than veteran edge rusher Zadarius Smith. Yes, the same Smith they cut earlier this offseason when cap constraints forced their hand. Think back to last spring. The Lions surprised many by letting Smith walk in free agency rather than pay him the roughly $11 million due on the final year of his deal. Detroit brass, led by Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, cited financial flexibility and youth development as the primary reasons. Yet, in the months since, the edge rush room has looked thinner than expected. Aiden Hutchinson suffered a brutal leg fracture in Week 6, Marcus Davenport and Josh Paschal have battled nagging injuries, and rookies like Ahmed Hassanein, while promising, entered camp with no guarantee of early impact. That's where Smith comes back into play. According to Pro Football Focus's Mason Cameron, Smith remains one of the league's most productive edge defenders, earning a gaudy 90.1 PFF pass rush grade over the past 3 seasons, landing him in the 93rd percentile. With Hutchinson's timeline uncertain and Detroit's cap space slowly filling with other contract extensions, Smith's experience and consistency could be the missing piece to push this defense to true contender status. Insiders tell us that preliminary conversations between Smith's agent and the Lions have already taken place. Imagine those back-channel texts late at night. Zod, up in Detroit, reads one. Another simply, "Let's get it done." The rumor mill suggests Detroit has offered a 1-year, $10 million prove-it deal with incentives that could push the total value north of $12 million, critical performance bonuses tied to sack totals, playtime percentages, and team win thresholds. It's a creative structure that preserves cap room for other free agent pickups while giving Smith a chance to stick in his old home. Now picture the practice field at Allen Park. Smith suiting up alongside Hutchinson and Davenport in exploratory pass rush drills. The roar of the crowd as they unleash stunts and blitzes in front of Dan Campbell's clipboard. Fans would flood social media with Emagern Smith again, recalling his mammoth strip sack of Jared Goff in 2023 that set the tone for Detroit's playoff push. From Mahomes in Kansas City to Josh Allen in Buffalo, opposing quarterbacks would once again know that setting foot in Ford Field means facing one of the NFL's true edge vet predators. Of course, there are risks. At 33, Smith's mileage is high, and the very injuries that scared away the Lions' front office last spring could re-emerge. But in today's pass-heavy league, veteran savvy often trumps youthful exuberance. Detroit's D coordinator Aaron Glenn has openly said he wants more blueprint edge sets, more sub-package specialists who can win one-on-one matchups. "We need guys who can finish," Glenn stated in an end-of-season press conference. Zadarius knows how to close the deal, and let's not ignore the emotional angle. Smith was beloved in Detroit, named team captain in 2023. The hard hat leader who held teammates accountable and set the locker room tone. Bringing him back now, after the draft and free agency have passed, sends a loud message. We learned from our mistake. We want to win now. For a fan base starved for playoff glory, the narrative resonates more than any glitzy draft pick. Could this reunion actually happen? We're still in speculation territory. Nothing is signed, sealed, or delivered. But our sources say the ball is rolling. There's mutual interest, a workable contract proposal, and a clear need on the roster. All that remains is for Smith to decide if he's ready to return to Detroit or test the market one more time. Stay tuned, Lions fans. This one could break any moment. If you're as excited about this potential reunion as I am, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Lions News Fan Report so you never miss a beat on all this breaking Detroit news. Now, let's dive into what comes next and wrap things up. Assuming Zadarius Smith signs that 1-year prove-it deal, Detroit's front office would immediately pivot to maximizing the cap space they've freed up. With roughly $10 million invested in Smith, the Lions could still chase a rotational safety or cornerback in free agency, or even swing at a veteran interior defensive lineman on a veteran minimum. Imagine pairing Smith's edge prowess with the emerging talents of second-round pick Tyleik Williams and reliable vet DJ Reader inside. Suddenly, Detroit's defensive line has both youth and experience, interior push and perimeter terror, a complete makeover from last year's unit that relied too heavily on Hutchinson alone. On the field, Smith's presence could transform the way Aaron Glenn calls games. Picture more exotic blitz packages, fewer max protect formations by opposing offenses, and Detroit generating quick pressure that leads to errant throws and game-changing turnovers. Opposing offenses might scheme away from Aiden Hutchinson, only to find Smith bursting off the edge unblocked. The ripple effect could elevate Detroit's entire defense, turning the Lions into a top-5 unit overnight and giving Jared Goff the chance to play with a lead rather than chase comebacks. There's also the crossover impact on culture. Dan Campbell preaches relentless effort and accountability, and Smith embodies those values. His return would reinforce the message that in Detroit, hard work is rewarded, that even veterans cut for financial reasons can earn another shot if they stay hungry. Younger players in camp and at OTAs would see firsthand what it means to carry the Lions' share of responsibility and still demand more from themselves week after week. Of course, not everyone is sold. Critics will point to Smith's age, 33 is up there for an edge rusher, and question whether he can stay healthy for a full 17-game schedule. They'll wonder if his best days are behind him, and if a one-year prove-it contract is really worth the risk when Detroit could invest that money in a younger prospect. But sometimes you need a veteran stopgap to bridge the gap between promising youth and proven performance. Smith could be that bridge. So what happens now? Expect official announcements to come in the next few days if talks have truly progressed. Keep an eye on Detroit's cap reports. When Smith's name appears under additions, the deal will be done. From there, it's all about the on-field integration, how quickly Smith meshes with Hutchinson, how Glenn designs his packages, and how the rest of the roster responds to having a seasoned leader back in the fold. But ultimately, the real question is this: can Smith's return be the spark that makes Detroit a legitimate Super Bowl contender in 2025? Or will this move be a footnote, a nostalgic nod to a fan favorite that didn't pan out? I'm betting on the former, because in this town, we believe in redemption, in second chances, and in roaring back stronger than ever. Zadarius Smith could be the catalyst that pushes the Lions over the top. What do you think, Lions Nation? Should Detroit roll the dice on Smith's one-year deal? Or is it time to bet entirely on the young edge rushers coming through the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I can't wait to read your takes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay hungry and roar loud, because Lions football is just getting started.